This, if I might. Like Joe and others, I also heard the arguments in terms of the war in Iraq from Bush, from Cheney, from John Bolton, from the whole administration. I listened very carefully, and I concluded that they were lying through their teeth. And I not only voted against that war, but I helped lead the opposition. And it saddens me so much, if you hear what I said, it's on YouTube, my fears about all the destabilization that would take place by the U.S. invading Iraq. It's sad to me that is what happened. But let me just pick up on a point that Tom made, which is absolutely right. Trump wants to build a wall around America. Problem is, if we are going to deal with issues like climate change, not only do we in America have to take on the greed of the fossil fuel industry, we have to lead the entire world. This is not an American issue, it's a global issue. We got to bring China and Russia and Brazil and Pakistan and India and every major country on earth into the fight against climate change. And here is my dream. Maybe it's a radical dream, but maybe, just maybe, given the crisis of climate change, the world can understand that instead of spending $1.8 trillion a year collectively on weapons of destruction designed to kill each other, maybe we pool our resources and fight our common enemy, which is climate change.
So, David,
Senator Sanders, thank you. George, back to you.
We have much more debate coming up. Mayor Bloomberg is, let me just put the question to you, because Mayor Bloomberg has taken on your argument.
I got an answer before the question. It's more.
He says we need evolution, not revolution.
Can you hear that?
Mayor Bloomberg has said we need evolution, not revolution, taking you on directly.
Well, you know, it's a funny thing. There are millions of people who can desire to run for office. But I guess if you're worth $60 billion and you could spend several $100 million on commercials, you have a slight advantage. That is nonsense. What we have got to do is have a nation in which we not only overturn Citizens United, we move to public funding of elections. In terms of money in politics, all right? Our campaign, and I am enormously proud of this, unlike some of the folks up here, I don't have 40 billionaires, Pete, contributing to my campaign, coming from the pharmaceutical industry, coming from Wall Street and all the big money interests. What we do have is we have now over 6 million contributions from 1.5 million people, averaging $18.50 a contribution. That is unprecedented in the history of American politics. If we want to change America, you're not going to do it by electing candidates who are going out to rich people's homes begging for money. The way we're going to do it is build a mass movement of working people who are prepared to stand up, not take money from these billionaires, not take money from Wall Street, but stand up to the drug companies in Wall Street. And if you want to be part of that political revolution, BernieSanders.com.
Mayor Buttigieg, close this round out.
Well, the answer to your question is why we have the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth, disproportionately high for the African-American community, by the way, is the same reason that we give massive trillion-dollar tax breaks to the rich and large corporations, same reason that we give tens of billions of dollars in subsidies and tax breaks to the fossil fuel industry, while half of our people are living paycheck to paycheck, the same reason that we have 3 people in America owning more wealth than the bottom half of America, the same reason that we are the only major country on earth not to guarantee health care to all people as a human right, same reason as to why we are paying in some cases 10 times more than other countries for prescription drugs. And that reason is that our priorities are determined by the 1% and by wealthy campaign contributors. Our priorities are determined by those who want to see the rich get richer and are turning their backs on the working families of this country. And what is unique about our campaign is we say unashamedly, we are raising our campaign contributions not from billionaires, but from working class people. That our campaign is about the working families of this country, for the working class of this country, and that is the administration that we will run. It is time to take on the big money interest. It is time to change our national priorities. Thank you.
There's so many good moments from that debate from the beginning when they're talking about the Iraq War, and Sanders says from the beginning he knew that Bush and Bolton and Dick Cheney, that they were lying. That shows his intuition. Bernie is a skeptical person. He studied a lot of sociology when he was younger in college, and understood that there are patterns of the powerful people sometimes being deceptive to the public in order to reach their goals. Bernie showed great insight back when he was one of the only senators that didn't vote for the Iraq War. He does great when he talks about climate change and how instead of focusing on wars, the countries can come together to focus on that bigger issue. When he talks about Bloomberg, saying that there are a lot of people that would love to run for office, but like Bloomberg's able to, mainly because of his wealth, because of his money. That's the thing about democracy. It's supposed to be one vote for one person and also equal power in the political process. And so as he's talking about billionaires and the fact that Pete has received money from over 40 billionaires, that's a message that a lot of people who are paying attention, who understand the danger of the current campaign finance system, that's something that resonates with them a lot. That's one reason why a lot of people might decide to vote for Bernie instead of Pete. Don't get me wrong, I will vote for any of these candidates over Trump, especially this week with the impeachment, with the way that him and his family and other Republicans have gone after Mitt Romney. Any of these choices are better than Trump by far. If you look at the picture that Don Jr. posted to Instagram of Mitt Romney, the one with mom jeans, that's ridiculous. It's absolutely childish. He has his 42-year-old son literally acting like a 15-year-old boy. I'm a teacher. I'm around 15-year-old boys constantly. That literally is the same maturity level as a lot of my most juvenile students. Bernie talking about statistics with wealth. People love when Bernie talks about these statistics. At least working class people do. But highlighting that 3 people own more wealth than the bottom half of the entire country. Highlights that our policies are designed by the 1% and they benefit the 1%. These are things that resonate with the average people, with the average person. These are things that, to be honest, could help Bernie Sanders. When I was having a conversation with a coworker who was saying Bernie Sanders just isn't electable. Some of the other candidates are far more electable, but Bernie Sanders isn't. Now maybe that's a message that the media promotes, that a lot of specific news stations are saying. But understand, he won the Rust Belt in the primaries with Hillary in 2016. But then Trump's good at being a fake populist. He's good at tricking people into thinking he's a populist. And so Trump then received that support after Sanders was point blank screwed over by the DNC. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.